We absolutely need a protest dedicated strictly to RFK Jr., the Toad. We need one just for him, and we need it sizable. We need signs above over freeways. Like, we need to actively be pushing him being impeached, deleted. I don't know what you want to call it. I don't really care how he goes, but he needs to go, because while all of them are dangerous here, he is the danger. If he is the most dangerous people in there, because he is actively poisoning people's minds in a way that it isn't just an individual like, oh, that might hurt my finances. This could wipe everybody out. This could take out our kids that go into these schools. And here's the other thing. There are people on the right that agree with it. I was on a subreddit yesterday checking out what they're talking about, and a lot of them did not like what they're doing in Florida, saying, no vaccine. Like, I don't know all what they said, but these people are like, yeah, that's way too far. Like, choice about COVID is one thing. I still don't necessarily agree with that, but I understand where they're coming from. But the regular vaccines are like, no, 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 no. We need those. Those are proven. Like, why the F would they say, oh, don't have any of them? And I was listening to a historian the other day that says, one of the ways that history does correct itself when it gets off on these paths is when people start dying, because they don't know where to go for facts, because their leadership, the facts aren't proving to keep them safe. So when they feel unsafe about the science behind things and medical care, then they start shifting away from them because they know that they're now in danger. So sadly, that's one of the places that we have to go to course correct this. But people need to really understand that he is lethal in a way that the other ones aren't. And this is completely a grift for him. I'm sure he's planning on doing little treatment centers afterwards for autistic people like me who was never vaccinated as a kid. I was raised by anti-vaxxers. Like, I know this world very well. I also would like to add, I was raised by a chiropractor who was a narcissist. He was very much like Donald Trump. Thought he was healing and saving everybody, and loved to play into that. But what I noticed growing up around chiropractors, who RFK said he loved to learn and get his ideas from, was chiropractors. They have always been a very resentful group, mostly white men, that felt like, why aren't we doctors? Why don't people treat us like doctors? My dad had a horrible chip on his shoulder about that, and would try and teach you about, the medical world, the cartel, and how it was all the same shit that he's saying. And I learned this when I was like 5. My dad had me convinced that there was no such thing as a German virus. Have you ever seen one? Right? And you're looking to the authority and you're going, no. But they also taught us that science is BS. You don't have to listen to it. The earth is 6,000 years old, so it's all a bunch of hogwash. In the meantime, those chiropractors have been able to become more mainstream, but they were always mad that they didn't get paid the same as a doctor. They didn't get the same insurance money. They had to ask for cash. They hated that they were not looked upon as the same thing. And so now they are more mainstream, and they are able to get into the ear of a lot of these people. And most chiropractors are Republican, not even a question. And most are white men. So I feel like this buildup has been coming for a long time, because I know I was taught it when I was young, and that's decades ago. So I think it's just, all of this has just been culminating for a long time. Anyway, a long way to say that Toad needs his own protest, and it needs to be massive, and it needs to be fucking soon.